Ladies and gentlemen, live from the Rockabessa Hitchin Hearts UK, in association with Bloodfire Studios and AJLR Media, welcome to the Big Debate Show. I am your host, the Judge, and each and every Monday from the hour of 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., you, the viewers, will be able to have a debate with me. Now, before I say another word, let me introduce to you once again on the show, Anna.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Very, very well.
You looking well?
Thank you.
And happy too.
Yes.
It might be the sun. The sun is starting to shine now.
Brilliant. Today was fantastic. For a bank holiday Monday, it was very, very good.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah.
Now, my viewers, tonight's topic is it time we considered bringing back the capital punishment? Sorry. Is it time we considered bringing back capital punishment? What's your take on that? Have you got a view? Have you got a passion about this one? Are you the type of person to think, you know what, they should have brought this back a long time ago? Or are you saying, you don't want it in this country? Now, I'm not going to waste no time because we've only got an hour. And as you know, it goes so quickly on the show. So I'm going to turn to Anna and ask Anna, what is your take? What do you believe? Capital punishment, bringing it back in the UK. You think it's a good idea?
I don't believe it. There's been any proven facts to show that somebody being executed has actually deterred crime from any countries that actually do apply death penalties anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I have like a 50-50 view on it because I have a very strong feeling for some people that commit a crime. Just personally for me, can I say that? People that are like the paedophilia.
Yeah, you can say that on the
to
show.
Me, that
say it on the show.
Paedophiles. Paedophiles. I don't necessarily have a great strong view on it against criminals in other sense, but yeah, for them.
So you will hang the pedophiles?
Yeah, I just don't believe that they belong here. And I know that sounds very arrogant because I'm not really listening to they may have a problem or a medical condition. But
well, I'm sure there's a lot of viewers who will agree with you when it comes to harming children. We're going to get deeper into that in a minute. But my viewers, if you want to get involved in tonight's show, the hotline, the number to call is 078. Oh my word, the judge has forgot the number. I forgot the number. 07818 361 551. Can you believe it? I nearly forgot the number. 07818 361 551. That is the number to call if you want to get involved in the show. If not, if you don't want to speak to me live, you can always send a text on that same number or the Facebook or Twitter page. Don't waste time. If you got something to say, bring it on to the Big Debate Show. Now, Anna, let me say this. You see, this thing about capital punishment, a lot of people will say that this country is very soft on criminals. You know, they get away with murder, they say. You know, it's too soft, and they want the hand of the law to come a bit more
stronger.
Yes, and especially when the crimes are so terrible. I'm sure there's viewers out there who've watched a case on TV and it come to your mind that, no, that person shouldn't be alive right now. Yeah, that person should be hanged or lethal injection. I'm sure there's a lot of viewers out there who seen a crime and think, that person doesn't deserve to live. What do you think, my viewers? 07818 361 551. Anna? Justice.
Yeah, but Judge, who are we to say who lives or not?
That is true. Who are we? But a lot of families out there who've lost loved ones will say to you, listen, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Why should this person have life after they've taken away someone that we love? And a lot of anger gets involved, and I can understand families when they just want that person to die. Especially as you say, back to where you said about pedophiles.
Yeah.
Straight away, you shake, and I got a little shiver, because they're the worst type of people I don't like. When it comes to kids, like so many of the viewers and like yourself, it's something that a lot of people don't even want to think about it. But, and you see, you're saying, who are we to take someone's life?
It's true.
But you did say pedophiles.
I know.
You did say
I
that.
wouldn't necessarily say that I would, I would like that power, but I probably would turn a blind eye if there was a community out there that was doing that. Because, I do have a very strong feeling against them. And I think there was a documentary on them, and I still couldn't, because I think it allowed you to look at things from their point of view, and I still sort of deterred myself away from it. I mean, it could have educated me better in an understanding of how they were putting themselves across out there to society. However, I just have a very strong feeling about it, and I can't. But at the same time, like I said, a 50-50, who are we to, make or have that power to choose somebody's life to be over?
Back to you, my viewers. You must be hearing how the debate is flowing, and have we got a right to take someone's life? Is it down to us? Should we change the law? Is this country too soft? It's like, you look in America, Anna, you look in America. I know it's starting to decrease, but they've had guys on death row for years over there. And you know what? Sometimes you need to watch programs to understand it. And there was a program that I watched this week, and you were saying to me that you watched it too.
Yeah.
And it was about a woman who, these two guys got her into some kind of bush area. They raped her. They got the shotgun, shot her in her back. Yeah? After they shot her in her back, they kicked her up, and they thought that she was dead. And when I watched that on TV, I said to myself, you know what? If that was my daughter, as a father, there's only one place I want that person to go. Yeah? Lethal injection. There's no getting away with that. So, I don't know.
Was that the first criminal offence that they had done?
Yeah, well, I don't think it went into their
history of
No, but that was enough for me to know that these guys have to go where they've got to go. And even the criminals, you notice that the criminals on death row, they put their hands up. Some say I'm too evil, I'm too wicked. But back to tonight's debate, and it is, do you think, is it time we considered bringing back the death penalty to the UK? Capital punishment. What do you think, my viewers? The number to call is 07818 361 551, or use the Facebook or the Twitter, or even text. But try and get involved in the show. Don't wait to the last minute. Don't wait to the last minute. You've got something to say? Say it now. Why you got a chance?
I was going to say, if they did bring it back, if they did bring back capital punishment into the UK, would it be hanging? Would it be lethal injection, electric chair,
Electric
or
chair.
other forms? Walk the plank.
Yeah, what the plank.
What are we bringing back? What
are we
would
bringing
be
back?
what would be the most popular choice to be brought
Well,
back?
I'm gonna tell you something, and I am the judge, and I have to speak my mind, Anna. And I'm sorry if this might offend one and two people. I know they don't do it anymore, but especially when it comes to messing about with children, murdering little kids, electric chair does the job for me. I'm not a wicked person, but I think the electric chair, let them feel a little something before they go.
As well, like in the olden days,
Just like in the olden days. Yeah.
To be shown, like there's people around to watch, make sure that that person's gone.
Yes, I mean
public display.
Well, I won't go that far, Anna, but especially the family, the victims. I'm sure they would. I don't like to use the word enjoy. I don't.
Satisfaction, maybe.
Yeah, just to close the book on that chapter. The pain will still carry on, but they know that person is not alive. But you're talking about hanging people nowadays. There's only one way. I don't know if it's because of human rights or whatever, but lethal injection is the way that people tend to be killed these days. But to consider bringing it back, if we had a vote. What do you think the vote would be? Do you think there'd be, people saying they don't want that? They don't want what's going on in America, what's going on in Iran, maybe in China, in this country. But to consider it, look at the crimes. I'm not going to go into any details on the crimes, but some of the crimes over here have been horrendous. The killing of little kids, raping and then killing women. You're saying to me, well, it sounds like it's not the type of thing you would definitely say bring it back.
Yeah, I would definitely have to have a lot of thought into thinking whether we would consider capital punishment back into the UK.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we think of capital punishment for people that commit murder. Now, I'll just give you a scenario, okay? So, 3 different women. One woman kills her husband because he was caught cheating. Another woman who is a student was having an aggressive situation with another student. Again, kills her or him, and then another person intentionally goes into a convenience store with a gun and shoots intentionally. Again, murder. All 3 are murder.
All 3 are murder. You got one of a crime of passion. Yeah, a woman finds
disloyal.
Yeah, a woman finds her man cheating. It could be a man finding his woman.
Yes,
let's do 2. You can't just say men. Let's do women too.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do the women too.
Yep. Okay. Then.
Women cheat too.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, but and you've got the other one where the guy goes into a shop. He goes in the shop with a gun, so he's got the intent to kill. And what's the other one you're saying about the student?
Oh, just an aggressive. There was a student party.
Yeah, and it went
you
too
have
far.
those university parties, and then somebody went too far, and self-defense would be called.
Yeah,
and then...
no. Murder is murder. I mean, if you kill someone, but that's why they
go through the courts.
That's why they go through the courts, and they have like manslaughter. They have different degrees of murder. And so forth and so on. But you know what? We've got our first caller on the Big Debate Show. Welcome to the Big Debate Show. What is your name?
My name is Sue.
Hello, Sue. How are you?
Hi, Judge.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you. What would you like to say on tonight's show, Sue?
I'd like to say is I wouldn't like to see the capital punishment being brought back to the UK. I don't agree with it.
Because?
Because too many innocent people have died There was only a case recently in America where a man, after 30 years, was proven innocent.
You've got a point there, Sue, but I'm going to ask
Yeah.
you, but I'm going to ask this to you. And I want a truthful, honest answer.
Okay.
Would that be your same answer if it was someone in your family who got murdered and they 100%, because nowadays DNA is, yeah, you can't get away from that. Would that be, would you say that's the same, you'll think the same? If it's one of your brothers or sister or father got killed, you wouldn't bring it back?
Yeah, I still would say don't hang him or electric chair. I'll say send them to prison.
And let them do life.
And let them do life. And life means life in prison, not no 10 years or 15 years. It would be, they've been there for the rest of their life.
You want them to rot, Sue? Rot?
Well, yes.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you, Sue. Thank you very much for your take on that. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anna.
Well, don't they say that? I mean, I've heard a lot of people complain about tax. You know, we're paying for their tax. Our tax is paying for them to be kept in prison. So there's that sort of argument as well.
Yeah, that is so true. I like when you said about the different scenarios, because that's made the judge think tonight. Because you cannot just, I mean, Sue, she doesn't agree with it.
No.
I'm sure there's a lot of people who do agree with it, but I'm waiting to hear from you. But in the meantime, no, in fact, you know what? We've got another caller. They're coming in thick or thin. Hello, welcome to the Big Debate Show.
Hello, Judge.
Hello, what's your name?
It's Kenzie.
Hello, Kens. What would you like to say on tonight's topic?
Right, yeah. I think it's a difficult one, Judge. I've only just tuned in, but I think the thing is that there are some people out there that have done some heinous things and, you know, multiple murders and done some really shocking things, and you kind of think, you know, the death penalty, you know,
Kens?
deserving of that. Yeah?
I have to say, could you speak up a little, please? Just a little bit louder.
All right, hang on a second.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Sorry, Judge. I was just saying that.
Nice and loud.
I think there's some heinous things that some people have done, and, you know, multiple murders and that, and I think, you know, you kind of think, you know, the death penalty is deserving of some of those people, but there are so many people that are on death row, or that have gone through the process and have had lethal injection, and then you found out afterwards that they didn't do the crime.
Okay. Can I put a question to you?
Yeah?
What if, which is true, there has been cases where it's been injustice, but what I'm going to put to you is this. What if they are 100% with DNA? Would you say bring it back for the wickedest crimes?
They've admitted it, I guess, because some people have owned up to it.
Well,
Which is true.
Yeah, there's a part of me that kind of thinks that, yeah, there are some people out there that are doing some serious things, you know. You know, there's people that have done multiple murders, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yes.
For no other reason but because they get a kick out of it and stuff, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so
are you for it or against it, Kenzie?
are you for it or against it?
But the difficulty is that you still have some people who are very clever and who can plant DNA evidence to off-track professionals, do you know what I mean? From
That's very
catching
true,
that
that's
sort
very
of thing.
true.
Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
Would
So,
you consider to bring it back then? Would you consider to bring back capital punishment?
Sorry?
Would you consider to bring back capital punishment?
Yeah,
So you're for it?
I think...
are you for it, Kens? Come on, spit it
I
out.
call it.
Are you for it or are you against it?
I'm I'm not sure.
All right, Kens, I'm going to leave it there because I'm sure there's a lot of callers. I'm going to let you think about that one here, and you can come back and tell me your answer. But
Thank
I
you.
appreciate your phone call. So Kens is
Okay.
on the fence.
It seemed more like he was for it, but he was kind of backtracking at the same time
I don't know if he was a bit nervous
to say that he
to
was
say
for
it.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, it did sound like it.
Yeah. But
There are mistakes though. Mistakes happen.
mistakes do happen.
With capital punishment, there's no turning back the clock, is there?
No.
So
Once the juice
there's
goes in, once the juice.
there's no appeal. You can't. I guess there are still families out there that try and fight, I guess, for their innocence. But once somebody's been executed, then they're no longer here.
They're no longer here, and that's the difference between life imprisonment and capital punishment. Maybe when you're doing life and they find new evidence, you've got a chance, as you were saying. But once you die, there is no bringing it back. There is no bringing it back. The number to call, this is the judge with Anna for the Big Debate Show, live at the Rockabessa. If you've just tuned in, is it time we considered bringing back capital punishment? Is it time we considered bringing back capital punishment? The number to call to get involved in the show is 07818 361 551. 07818 361 551. Or you can send me a text or use the Facebook or Twitter page, The Big Debate Show. But on Twitter, leave out the W. Anna, we've had 2 callers.
Sue was very much against.
Against.
And considering you gave the scenario of family
And
members,
she was still very against. She was still against it. And then we had Kenzie.
Yeah, who personally I think was quite normal. 50-50.
Yeah, 50-50.
50-50. However, I think he was persuaded to think more towards
we
it.
We kind of
right?
pushed him, innit?
I know. Well,
we kind of pushed Kenzie. I mean, speak your mind. Don't worry if we're trying to push you. But Kenzie, it looks like you were still on the fence, which is fine because, like I say, the Big Debate Show is just tell me what's on your mind. It's freedom of speech on this show. Freedom of speech.
but I can see why people are hesitant though.
Why?
Because it's almost like if you are 100% agreeing to it, then you're agreeing to take somebody's life. But then also what Kenzie sort of stated was there are errors, there are mistakes, and we can't take that back.
But Anna, DNA.
What Kenzie was saying, that there's clever people out there. If you were to be set up, you could easily be set up.
Yes, but I tell you something. I don't think it's that easy to get away with murder.
You've got to remember,
All it takes is a little splash of blood.
In a court, I guess, if it's judged by the juries.
Which is true, and this is where there's that
There's
thin
got
line
to
of
be
views.
evidence,
Yes.
there's got to be a good action plan. If the other side is a lot stronger, then they tend to win a case.
I'm getting a funny feeling that so far, it seems like people are they're sort of like unsure, and we don't want it in this country. You go to Iran, you go to China, you might go to certain countries in Africa, America, still people on death row.
Yeah.
And you see this death row thing. I'm not one for the long wait. Why wait? And another thing is, you might think I'm a little bit harsh, my viewers. You might think I'm a bit mean. But I do not agree if they are 100% that this person, especially if the person put their hands up and says, yes, I'm the one who killed off those kids. I'm the one who raped that woman and then I murdered her. I don't like the thought of having that last meal. Anna, I can't afford steak. I can't afford steak. And the prisoner is allowed to choose any steak, you think of the sweetest meal and they can have it just before they die?
Do you know what? To be true, the person that they have murdered didn't have their last meal, didn't have their last favourite meal.
Never.
So why do they get that chance?
Why do they get grilled steak? 07818361551. It's the judge for the big debate show. 25 minutes have gone. I told you already, the show is gonna go fast. Anna, this is a tough one. This is a real tough one. Because there's two sides of the fence, I would say. You speak to people who have family murders, families, kids, wives, husbands who have been murdered. I'm sure there's a lot of them who would welcome the death penalty, especially if the criminal.
What about the people that have forgiven?
Now that's a powerful one.
Yeah, because that happens. That does happen.
Yes, and that is.
And they pray for them and they forgive them.
Wow. You know what? I am glad that you touched on that. I am so glad, because the program that I watched this week, where the woman got raped, shot with a shotgun. You want to see her shoulder half blown off? And then they kicked her. And they kicked her until they thought she had died. And when she went to see the guy who done all of that, because she was there as a witness to see him go down, she wrote on a piece of paper. And you know what that said, my viewers? On that piece of paper, it said, "I forgive you." Now, Anna, what strength does it take? What inner strength to go through what she went through? I mean, to even just be raped is bad enough. But then to be shot and to be kicked, and she was willing. And she didn't tell no one. She wrote it down. And she wanted the person who's just about to die to read it. "I forgive you." What's your take on that one now? What do you say to that, man? That's some powerful stuff there.
But that's what I'm saying. There are people out there that, will forgive and take it to a different level. They won't even... Of course, they're still mourning for a family member or a friend that was murdered, but they almost come to a different place. They're coming away from that emotional level where the responsibility is down to that person.
It is a tough one, my viewers.
That's
and
some strength.
I like to hear what you have to say. I like to hear your views on tonight's topic. Is it time we considered bringing back capital punishment? Is it time we considered bringing back capital punishment? Now, you know what? That is one thing that made me think. If the victim can say, "I forgive you," I forgive you. I personally think that's a healing process too for that victim, because don't matter if that person's alive or dead, the pain is never going to go away.
It's true.
But the power, it's like, because sometimes it's best not to show somebody the emotional side, Sometimes you go there and says, I'm happy, you go and die, the person knows that's what you're going to say. But if you say, "I forgive you," I think that's more powerful than saying, "Kill that person." That's power.
It's almost like they put the other person ahead of
Make them think. And it shows you that that person has such strength that they're going to carry on with their lives regardless. And what you've done to that person is not going to destroy the rest of their life. It's the Big Debate Show. I'm your host, the judge, with Anna. What do you think? What's your say? Should we bring it back, or should we just leave it to one side? We don't want to bring that back. People are saying innocent people have been killed. How sure can we be? Can we believe that when it goes to court, justice will prevail, Anna.
And also, do we have that right to take someone's life?
That's another thing. I mean, there's a lot of people who believe in God. And I heard through all my life, they say things like, leave it to God. God will deal with that person. So when you say, have we got the right? It's true. Have we got the right to take someone's life? Does it make us feel good when you take someone else's life? I don't know.
I mean, going back to the question, should I guess
We consider.
the UK, should we consider capital punishment to
consider.
be brought back? I was speaking to a friend today who kind of, made sense, because when did I think the last time that the capital punishment was in the UK was in 1964. Now, their take on it was, if the government made money on this, they would bring it back. Again, if we look at this in a practical point of view, it really is dependent on the government, as usual with anything that runs in this country. Now, if money was being made, would they not back it?
Yes, and if money was being made, not only that, and I don't mean it in a, sometimes it's a quick way to get rid of people that you don't want on earth. You know, the poor, the people that don't benefit the system. Sometimes they like to get, maybe I'm going a little bit too deep,
I think I saw a film on something like that.
Maybe I'm going a little bit too deep, but sometimes my mind just drifts away and I think, hey, if we bring it back, we can get rid of a certain group of society, one by one, frame people.
Well, that's what that Kenzie was saying.
People get framed.
If people wanted to frame somebody, then they could plant evidence, and then that would be the whole, we have just committed, an execution to somebody that was innocent. And talking about innocent, because they say in the court of law, innocent to proven guilty. And this reminds me, Anna, when I was a youngster, and I'm sure the year was 1987. And this brought tears to my eyes, my viewers. And I don't know if you watched it. It was a program, and it was called 40 Days in May. No, I don't know.
And it was based on a American in the States. And they showed how it was leading up to his death. Yes. And his lawyer was fighting, saying, you got the wrong man. And the appeals were going on. And something inside me, something in my belly, Anna, said, you know what? I think they've got the wrong man this time. But I stayed and watched the program. And I watched the program to the end. And I tell you something, even his family came in and they were singing songs to him. And something said to me, hold on a minute, this don't feel right. And do you know what, my viewers? Anna? They found out they killed the wrong man. They killed the wrong man after, when it's too late. And me being the judge on the big debate show, I honestly think, you see, sometimes things get into my head, Anna, and there's two sides of me. There's the passionate part where you, as you said at the start of the show, pedophiles. You didn't want to say it, but I want you to say it. Yeah? Because I'm sure most people will
It's like a different debate, that one.
Yes. And, you know, the sweat comes down. But the thing about it is, can you honestly be sure there's two things? You're going to get the right person. And does it really make a difference? You know, sending them to life imprisonment, don't you think, my viewers, that's enough? Or do you want to go that extra mile? 07818 361 551. That's the hotline. Or use the Facebook or Twitter page. It's the judge for the Big Debate Show with Anna.
This is serious.
This is
isn't
serious. You just took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
We have a text, Anna. What would... Have a read and tell me
Okay.
what's going on.
I think we should consider bringing back the death penalty for certain crimes and as the worst possible punishment, not the only punishment. For example, some states in the US have the death penalty as the first and last option for certain crimes. From T.
From T. Now, that's from T. Thank you, T, for that text. I appreciate it.
So he's 4.
He's 4. That's the first one. You see, and you were saying, when you said about the scenarios, and I said to myself, it's true. There's murder and there's murder. There's manslaughter. You know, if you find your woman or your husband or your wife in bed, you come home from work, Anna, you go up the stairs and you hear a noise that you ain't heard before. As a man, you're going to get angry. And some men will take it that extra mile. And once you go that little bit further, that crime of passion, you know, a man in love, it's very hard to stop. So that's one thing. But I'm talking about...
Well, yeah, about the ones that, you know, repeat criminal offence.
Rape. Rape a woman. Then murder. When it comes to children, T just says, it all depends on the crime.
Yeah.
What do you think, my viewers? Does it depend on the crime? Or is it you don't agree with bringing that over here? Or are you the type to say, you know what? We're too soft over here. We're too soft. You know, you look in prison. Now, I know the prison system over here, it seems a bit soft to me.
Well, if they're repeating the same offence, there isn't a consequence, is there?
No, well, when it comes to murder,
Oh, okay, that's... Well...
we're talking about murder. And once you get, you're inside. But then they say like 25 to life, you might do 25 years. If you've killed someone and you're age 20, more than likely, you might be out when you're 50. Life, that's another topic that we will bring up on the big debate
What if
show.
somebody murders through self-defence?
Manslaughter? Yeah, well, if somebody was attacking me, I mean,
And you picked up a glass?
Self-defense, I'm sure you look like the type of person who can defend yourself. And
I would need a glass.
if somebody, yeah, exactly. And don't demonstrate, because I've only got a couple of teeth left. But I would go as far to say self-defense is different. Someone coming into your house, I'll lock the door, and
Yeah,
me
but
and him gonna have
that's
fun.
proven. What if the other side of the family turns around and said, no, Anna, you had the glass in your hand,
Yes.
you intentionally wanted to hit David around the head with it.
Yeah, but you hit David across the head. David goes down. He dies. That's one act.
There's me trying to
But if
prove...
you carry on, I don't think you'll be this wicked. When you hit David across the head and then you carry on hitting David, that's murder. 07818 361 551. There's different types. But
Yeah.
tonight's show is, if you've just tuned in, is it time we considered bringing back capital punishment in the UK? Do you think there's enough justice? Do you think, you know what, to consider? Should people have the right to live after they do those wickedest crimes? I'm not talking, as you're saying, hit David over the head. I'm talking the wickedest ones when it comes to women and children.
What about rehabilitation? There are some people that would encourage people that commit crimes to maybe go through some form of therapy to help them, because maybe they may have a condition that doesn't control how they behave.
Well, I'm going to say to you, Anna, live on the show, yes, that's what prison's for,
Okay.
you know? But when it comes to, if you're a thief or anything like that, fair enough. But when you're dealing with murder, and that's what we're talking about on tonight's show, there's only one way. In this country, you're going down for life. I know they're going to try and help you But it all depends on the crime. Are you going to sit on the big debate show and look me in my eyes, Anna, and say, after all these years, the Yorkshire Ripper, is he ready to come out of prison? And it's not like he's been in there 20 years. He's been in there many, many years, maybe over 30. Hand on the heart, and you tell me, open the door for Mr. Yorkshire.
I wouldn't know who he was, would I?
He killed
until it came to it.
Well, he killed
He would introduce
13,
himself as
13 prostitutes.
Yeah.
And I will say to you, he's been in prison 30 odd years. Do you think it's safe for him to come out?
No.
07818 361 551. I am the judge. Don't hesitate. Don't wait till the last minute to make your views heard. I'm going to tell you, if you send a text, we're going to read it out. Facebook or Twitter. The Judge and Anna. And even though it's a serious topic, Anna, I'm still enjoying it because it's opening my mind. Before I came on the show, I was like, bring it back.
Really?
Let me do the hanging.
Do you know what? There was a program. It was a quite popular program called Dexter. Now I don't really like to watch films where there's people killing because I don't like to visualize things. But he had a sickness. It was a program about him having this sickness that he likes to kill people. Mm-hmm. But he twisted it so that because he worked as a forensic blood analyst.
Okay.
And but the show was about how he had this behavior, a habit. Mm-hmm. But he twisted it so that he only killed people that deserved it. So he made up the rule in his own mind mm-hmm. that person deserved it because he was a drug dealer or he was a abuser.
He sounds like a visual, what do you call it? A vigilante.
Yes, but he's still murdering people.
He's still murdering people, and don't matter what you do, you're still killing.
Yeah.
And there'll be a lot of people that would...
But that made me feel exactly that same way. Like, yes, there's somebody out there doing all of that.
Doing the dirty work.
Yeah.
There's somebody
like
out there.
I said, I think if somebody was out there, like a vigilante, who wanted to do something along them lines towards the people that I do not like, mm-hmm. then I'd turn a blind eye to it. I'd be like, yeah, you carry on. I think
yes.
We may have, if I can get on here.
I don't think so.
Is it on Twitter?
On Facebook. I don't think we've got anyone. You might get a little flash in a minute, but in the meantime, my viewers...
I think it just flashed up for me.
Anna said she watched a program where this man was going around doing the dirty work. But it's still killing.
It is.
And
yeah.
I would say, even though he's doing it, oh yes, we got one, he would have to go to prison too, Anna.
Yeah, well, until he wasn't caught.
He wasn't caught.
But these people that he was killing also hadn't been caught. But he kept an eye on it.
I'm sure there's a lot of Christians, a lot of Muslims, Jews that are watching the show. Anyone who is religious, and they will say, thou. One of the laws are, thou shalt not kill. But we won't go deep. Let me hear what you got to say.
We have a message, a comment on Facebook from Delroy. He says, it's definitely time to bring it back, but it has to be governed properly and without a shadow of a doubt, 100% guilty. There have been and still are far too many people in prison today that are wrongly accused. 100% no doubt about the premeditated murder.
Okay, and that's from?
Delroy.
Well, thank you, Delroy, for that Facebook comment. And I'm getting a feeling, Anna, that on the show, people are saying, okay, some might be saying, bring it back, but can we be certain? That's the thing, Anna. That's the bottom line. Can we be certain we've got the right man or woman?
Well, there was this study that was shown in America, because obviously they do the death penalty, and the study showed that at least 4.1% of the people sentenced are not guilty.
And that's not good enough.
No, it needs to be.
That's like taking the judge out of the big debate show and putting him on death row. I haven't killed nobody.
But then somebody could have planted and created evidence.
And that's wicked. 07818 361 551. It's the Judge with Anna on the Big Debate Show. We've got 15 minutes left, Anna. 15 minutes left. Can you believe? I'm sorry. Time really is going fast these days. I don't know if I'm getting older.
I wasn't really sure how this was going to turn out tonight, because I didn't feel like I had, a strong passion for it or not. Hence, I said 50-50. But
You've got a passion.
well, one area of it.
That's fine. That is fine. As
But
long as
that's
you've got a passion.
We need to create a different debate show for that one.
Yes.
You'll find more of an aggressive Anna
Yes.
then.
Yeah, but it's just fine. You see, the show is all about putting the realness out there. Don't let me hear something just to make me feel good. The judge doesn't want that. The judge only wants real people to phone up and tell me exactly what's on your mind. Don't hesitate. 15 minutes to go. Don't wait to the last minute to send a text or to phone in the show. Listen, Anna, as the show has been going on, I've been learning, and I was one of those guys, like that you said on the program, who would go around doing all those stuff when I was walking in. You can't let them people live. But my mind is changing a bit. We have another text. Let's see who this is from.
Okay, so what's that word there? What if
What?
Oh,
What if?
what oh me and technology. What if premeditated murder was that of someone who has done wrong? A rapist, a murderer. Take a film, A Time to Kill, for instance.
You know what?
No name.
No name. Look. If you go out, if you go out with the intention, it's not like you said earlier on, you get a glass and you hit David over the head and David falls down. You go out of your house with a couple of knives. You are going to do something. You already got it in your head. Yeah? That's a different type of murder. They've got, in America, you might have first degree, you've got manslaughter. There's different levels of murder.
Like that guy that was the sniper in America that was shooting just randomly.
That's
with intent.
that's already planned. That person, those people are supposed to go down for life. That's for life. But self-defense or anger, that's another thing. We have another text.
Okay. I think we need to be mindful of the death sentence. Think of the wrongly accused. I do not support it due to the overrepresentation of people of colour being incarcerated. Yes, life must mean life. Lock them up with no release, but no more killings.
And that's from?
Moggs,
thank you for that text. They're coming in. The texts are coming in. And keep bringing them in.
Okay, so that one was more...
You see, and that's what I was saying. If it came back to this country, the mindset of some people, which they have a right to think like that, would they target ethnic people? Would they target the poor? It makes you wonder, would they
target certain communities?
Certain communities and societies. What do you think, my viewers? This is the Judge for the Big Debate Show. Anna, we've covered a lot tonight.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot tonight. And even me, my heart's gone a little bit softer.
I'm still 50-50. I'm still not either.
Yeah, bringing it back. I tell you when I want to bring it back. I tell you when I want to bring it back. Is when I watch the news and you see, I go back to, because it hits the heart.
Yeah.
The vulnerable people, the innocent child, the woman, and the grotesque things that some humans do. I think, you know what? I'm not going to say I will do it myself, but if that person was to go, would I shed a tear? I don't think so. I don't think the judge would. I don't think the judge would. And I know, going back to when you said paedophiles, I don't think you would shed a tear, Anna.
No.
You would shed a tear. But bringing it back to this country, you look in America, justice. And, you know, everybody wants justice, especially when it comes to family members. Everybody wants justice. Some want revenge. Some would consider bringing back the death penalty. But does it really work? Yes, it does. The person dies. But does the pain go away? Does it? Does it, my viewers?
And also, if you think about it in a society point of view, does it actually decrease crime in the
Well, if you look
country?
well, that's a good point. That's a good point, Anna. And you just have to look in America.
And I don't think, well, some research and studies have shown that there is actually less crime in areas where death penalty doesn't exist.
Wow.
So,
I mean, we're starting to sway to this side now, where it's, you know, we're starting to get soft, Anna.
no, it's not soft. It's just that, you know, if people are doing these studies, then it would make, you know, it makes sense that we shouldn't be too 100% for it if it's not showing us facts that it's actually deterring crime from the country.
I will go as far to say the death penalty is not to slow crime down, and I don't even think it gives fear into people,
So it's
because
justice and satisfaction.
it is justice for the family, because you know what, everyone has something inside their brain, yeah, that it might just trigger something, and you might do something and later you will regret it. You know, everyone could be a killer,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, there are people that do it, but not on purpose. They do it by accident because, you know, certain circumstances.
Yeah.
Does it make them a killer?
Like I said, it all depends what it is. But I watched the programs on death row, and most of those inmates, they were ready to die. You know, they said
Did they admit to their crimes?
a lot of them did, and a lot of them feel sorry, and a lot of them every day they think about it, and a lot of them will think, I wish they could go back in time because now they're a man, and when they done the crime, there was a little boy. But we have another text. We've got 10 minutes to go on the big debate show. Just 10 minutes. It's going quick.
Okay, the British judicial system is not safe enough for the death penalty. It doesn't work in America, and it certainly won't work here as a deterrent. Crime per capita is lower in the UK, so what is the point? Exactly what I was just saying.
Wow. What is the point? What is the point? That's where
But
we get
your
back to
point
it.
was not necessarily about lowering crime, more about justice
Yeah,
and satisfaction.
It's not about lowering crime, because you look in America and those states that do lethal injection, guys still killing.
Well, personally, I think the government would be for it if there was money being contributed to them, as well as showing statistics to show that it was lowering crime.
Lowering crime. My viewers, we've got less than 10 minutes to go on the show. You've heard what we've been debating. You've heard some of the texts and the phone calls. I'm talking to the ones that are just thinking, should I or should I not? Yes, get involved in the big debate show. We have one show to go after this, and that is it for season 1. I can't believe it. I'm not tearful, because I will be back. But it's like, oh my word, time is just going.
You're ending it, and I just started.
I know, I'm not ending it.
Well,
I am not
season.
ending it, because when we do come back, it's going to be even better than what it is now. But back to tonight's show, we're talking about, would you consider bringing back capital punishment? Most people, it seems like the ones that have texted in, you know, they don't want it back. They might get the wrong person. Would it's about justice, and a lot of people will think,
yeah.
you know, they might target a certain society, a certain group. Trust. Don't think they're going to trust this government to bring it back. I don't think the people want it back, Anna. And the judge is starting to think, you know what? Leave it out of this country? What do you think? Leave it out? Don't even consider it? Don't even consider it?
personally, for me, I think it's not about justice or satisfaction. It would, I mean, if it was to come back to this country, it would be more to do with the statistics of lower crime rates.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and if you think about it, the families of the victims. See, it's all right for me and you on the Big Debate Show saying, no, don't bring it back. But when it's a family member and they have been murdered, or a daughter or a mother, that person might have a different take than what we're saying, you know?
Well, yeah, they will have their opinions, and I wouldn't.
Emotions get involved.
Yeah, of course.
But sometimes, because when I was driving to the Big Debate Show at the Rockabessa, my emotions started to get to me. And it's only when I sat down with you, Anna, and I'm starting to think more, and I'm starting to say to myself, there's a lot more involved than just saying it, bringing it back.
Yeah, it is.
There is so many, there's a lot of ticks that need to go in those boxes. And I'm finding it very hard to tick one.
Well, even if the US has been doing it for this long and they're still getting it wrong, even 4.1%, that's still...
And if you think about it, even in the US, how many states have stopped using it? You know, I don't think it's going down. It's working for the families of the victim, you know, because they've got a chance when the curtain goes back to see that person who committed that wicked crime die right in front of their eyes. But walking out of there, do they feel good? Do they feel that they can get on with their lives? Is the pain still gone? I don't think the pain will ever go.
Oh, I just remembered that film, The Green Mile. Oh.
Yes, but let me tell you something.
Sorry.
Why are you talking about the Green Mile? Because that...
Because it was
No, but why was it sad? That wasn't even real.
Well, I know.
You ever see a man go like this and bring back life? What you been drinking? What you been drinking tonight? Huh? The Green Mile?
Well, it just reminded me of the big guy.
Yes.
Who was, you know.
But he had special powers.
I know it was a film. I know it was a film.
He had special powers, but yes, I understand where you're coming from, because justice wasn't served. It was, but they still killed the big guy.
I know.
And he didn't deserve.
No.
But we're not talking about the big guy today.
I know. We're not. And this is real.
We're
talking about the real.
We've got 4 minutes to go. I'm going to wind up the show in a minute. I tell you this, Anna, this is why I love doing this show, because the Big Debate Show is not just about humorous topics. People might say, oh, you're just talking about... No, it's not. Every week is different on the Big Debate Show. You're going to be surprised every week.
Oh, the texts and the callers are kind of educating me into thinking, you know, switching one way to another. Because, you know, everyone brings in their personal experiences as well.
That's right. And sometimes you have to just think a little bit deeper. Sometimes you have to step back before you start analysing.
Yeah.
But we've got our last text. This is our last text on the Big Debate Show.
Okay. Okay. At the end of the day, the people may feel as though justice has been served, but it won't take away the pain. Don't promote killing in any form. A life sentence should mean life.
Thank you. And I can't think of I won't say sweeter, I can't think of a text that I would have liked to end the show with. And it is so true. And it's going back to what you said at the start of the show, Anna. Who are we to take someone else's life? Who gives us the right? Consider? Most people wouldn't. Especially if you're a religious person and you believe in God, you know?
And there are people with a lot stronger views on it, where they almost forgive.
Always forgive, yes. And I take my hat off to them.
Yeah.
And I can understand why people do that. Last text.
Oh, another
Oh,
one.
I'm sorry. All right, we've got 2 minutes. The last text of
Okay.
the night. And I mean last text. Not reading no more.
Okay. Hi, my name's Katharina. At what age would you class giving someone the capital punishment? Someone who is 17 and had already committed several murders, and the system uses our tax money to keep them alive. I believe we need a better reformed government to use our money in a wise and just way.
Which is
Interesting.
very,
It's very
very,
good.
very good. And yes, you have a good point there, because age is very important. I mean, I'm not going to go into any names, but remember the two little boys who killed the little boy?
Yeah.
A lot
We're
of
now
people-
living.
Yes, but me personally thinking to myself, hold on, they were kids when they done that crime. Are you going to treat them like adults? Kids' minds still developing. It's a different thing. You had a good point there. It's about that too. It's about the age. But we're going to wind up the show. We are absolutely out of time. So I'm going to take this opportunity to first look to you and say thank you for your second show. I've put you in the deep end.
Again.
But my word, you're an Olympic swimmer. Then I'm going to big thank you to Blood Fire Studios and AJLR Media. That's a big thank you to them, and the staff at Rockabessa. Beautiful place. I keep telling you guys, come down for a drink. But most of all, I'd like to thank all the viewers, especially the ones who took time out to phone in, to send a text, to use the Facebook. I appreciate that, and that's from the judge. But next week's show, this is our last show in the series, and next week's show is finding a good relationship hard these days? Is finding a good relationship hard these days? That's for next week's show. Same time, Mondays, from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. And you know what I always say? Just remember, we all have a voice. Thank you, and good night.
Good night.